Welcome to the Vanilla to Vixen podcast. This show contains adult content, so if you are under 18 or easily offended, please switch off now. Mr. and Mrs. N are not qualified relationship counsellors. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Now the disclaimer is out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy our journey from Vanilla to Vixen.
And welcome to episode 127 of Vanilla to Vixen. We are your hosts, Mr. and Mrs. N, and we're also known as...
The Naughty Couple.
Hello, Mrs. N.
Hello, Mr. N.
Here we are again.
We are.
For the 127th time.
Can you believe it?
I know, it's rather difficult to believe.
I can't believe you lot still like listening to us.
I know, considering we're only going to do 6 episodes.
I know. It's your own fault. If you keep listening, we'll keep going.
This is true.
We've been busy, haven't we?
We've been everywhere. We've been out on a road trip.
We have.
We've discovered a new club.
We did.
We've received lots of fan mail.
Yes.
Talking of which...
Yes.
I've got a little message here.
Okay.
Now, this is quite graphic.
Rightio.
Before I go any further, this is quite graphic. So, if you're easily offended, what are you doing listening to a sex podcast?
Exactly.
So, just be warned.
Yeah.
Okay?
Trigger alert.
It says, Dear Mr. and Mrs. N, my boyfriend's a right dick. He told me that the best cure for constipation was anal sex.
Right.
I didn't believe him, but after some persuasion, he talks me into it. I let him stick his big fat knob into my tiny little arsehole. Told you it was graphic. He shacked me up the bum really hard. Then after a while, he came. There you go, see?
Okay.
He's just rung me this morning and says he wants to try it again as he's still constipated.
Oh! Very good. Yeah. Nice try, mate. Nice try.
Oh, dear.
Oh, so, Mr. M, what have we been up to?
So we went all the way nearly to the seaside.
We did.
It wasn't quite the seaside, but it was damn close.
Well, in fairness, we got close. Yeah, we did get close to the seaside.
I mean, we live in the middle of the UK, so, you know, if we go 5 miles either side, we're close to the seaside. You know, we're the people that used to win boats on Bullseye.
That's right, yeah.
For anyone out of the UK, Bullseye was a darts show.
It was a game show, wasn't it?
A darts game show where people in the Midlands usually won speedboats.
Yes, exactly. I think it's been rekindled, hasn't it?
It has, but it's never the same.
It's not.
You can't reintroduce things.
No, they should just leave these things alone.
Never go back. Onwards and upwards, that's what we say.
Absolutely.
And that's us, Mrs. N. Onwards and upwards.
Absolutely.
We've got lots happening.
We've got a jam-packed show, haven't we, today?
We've got lots. What are we going to learn about this week?
So we're talking about fetishes.
Oh, right at the end of the show.
Right at the end of the show. And it's all about the fetishes that have dipped and the ones that have risen.
I see. Rising. Things rising
and things falling.
Trends,
yes.
Nothing else.
And if you want to know what vor means...
Vor?
Yes.
Okay.
Then you need to stay tuned.
Oh, okay, right. That sounds intriguing. We'll go. Meanwhile, what I do want to talk about...
Is this the exciting bit?
We've got a couple of dates for you.
We have.
We've got V2V dates and things and to talk about. We've got something really, really special happening.
Yes.
We have got a V.I.P weekend. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
You don't just get us once, you get us twice.
Now, this is literally happening as we speak, so we can't give you lots of details just yet. It will be set in the South West Midlands.
Yeah. This is a bit like Treasure Hunt.
So this is an amazing event. It really is. We are doing a hotel takeover.
We are.
So we know that there's many couples, many single ladies, and a few select very nice single guys that have always wanted to come to one of our events, but for one reason or another, perhaps they're a little bit nervous, perhaps they don't feel that a club environment is right for them, perhaps they're not ready for that yet.
They may seem or feel that it's slightly intimidating.
Yeah.
Even though we're there.
Yeah. Once they get inside, we know it's not.
Pardon the pun.
But, you know, I can see when, you know, the thought of going to a club can be terrifying for people.
Yeah, absolutely. We've all been there.
Absolutely. But here's your chance to skip that. So if you've never been to a club before, but you're desperate to sample what V2V is about, this is a one-time opportunity. What's the dates, Mrs. N?
So it is the 7th and the 8th of March this year.
Did you hear that? The 7th and 8th of March, not very far away. A whole V2V weekend.
It is. We're doing a Friday and a Saturday.
And this is a brand new venue for us.
It is. It's a hotel.
It's a vanilla hotel.
It is.
And we have got the whole place.
Yep.
It's a vanilla hotel takeover just for V2V.
Yep. It's a guest list only.
Strictly guest list only.
Yep.
This is a VIP weekend, but the prices are not going to be much different to going to a club.
No, but this isn't just a hotel. This is a very special hotel.
Absolutely.
And it's an experience that you do not want to miss.
We are going to be there. This is a more intimate event, so we expect this to sell out pretty quickly. We can reveal the name of it. What's it going to be, Mrs. N?
It's going to be called the Velvet Vixens Weekend.
This is the Velvet Vixens Weekend. Oh, it even sounds VIP.
Doesn't it just?
Velvet Vixens.
So you guys are going to be spoiled. You are going to be made to feel amazing. Mm-hmm. You're going to be made to feel special. You're going to be in this amazing environment.
And it's going to be more intimate, because one thing we always have a regret with when we do V2V is that it's full on. They're great parties, and you know, Liberty Elite, where we hold Vanilla Vixens, it's a quite a big, large venue.
It is.
It's quite a big venue, isn't it?
It is, yes.
And so it can be difficult to get around all the couples. There's going to be less couples, less single ladies.
Yeah.
So how we're working this is, because it's a whole weekend, the Friday night will be a few singles, a little bit maybe stag and vixen couples, a little bit, you know, if you're into the hot wife fetish.
Yeah.
Stag and vixen, there'll be some nice single guys that we will personally select for you. We'll have some lovely single ladies.
Yes.
And there's going to be some seriously hot couples.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Saturday night, again, similar kind of rules to what we always do. Saturday night is just for couples and single ladies. And that is going to be the Velvet Vixens night.
It is. However, for the couples and single ladies, if they wanted to make an entire weekend...
Spend the whole weekend?
Spend the whole weekend with us.
The area is fantastic. Can't say too much just yet. We will give you more information. But the weekend, if you want to go walking in beautiful countryside, I can only describe it as like a seaside town without the sea.
Yeah. It just had that feel about it.
Absolutely. And there's a full 24-hour fairground there.
There is.
So there's loads to do. I've said too much.
You have. Also, this is the thing I think will get people coming. There's a Wetherspoons.
It's a really nice Wetherspoons.
It is a really nice Wetherspoons. We have sampled it.
We've been there. It's really, the place is fantastic. The whole villages and things surrounding this place is absolutely phenomenal. And we know you're going to have the best time. This is strictly for, as I say, a limited amount of people.
Yes.
Absolutely nowhere near as many as we have at V2V. Come and spend a weekend with us. If you can just come on the Friday, come on the Friday. You can come on the Saturday, just come on the Saturday. But come and see us on this weekend. We have a brand new website that we're going to be talking about later in the show. It's just 5 digits. That's all I'm saying. You've got to listen to the whole of the show. We've got a brand new website with all our upcoming events on. The details, the full details of this event will be on the website early next week. We've got a brand new website. Very excited about that.
It is fabulous. Mr. N's worked very hard.
And we'll be talking about that in just a minute.
We have so much to talk about this week, don't we, Mr. N?
We've done loads.
We have done loads. And we're also going to talk about a fabulous venue that we went and visited.
Oh, what a night that was.
It was such a night.
That was an amazing night.
So, we'll talk about the club that we went to in a little while.
Yeah.
We've got lots to talk about with that. Mm-hmm. But we also want to talk about, so last week was Vegas.
I'm still recovering. Oh my golly gosh. It was at Liberty Elite and the doors opened. It was the first event of the new year.
It was.
Very early January. Everybody's still kind of recovering. And so we weren't sure. I wasn't sure whether, very soon after New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And we weren't sure whether we'd get a big crowd, even if it would just be us.
Well, it could have been.
I thought it might just be us in the hot tub. But the guest list filled really quickly.
We did really well. And we are super, super grateful for everybody that came.
Oh, God. Without your support, we've said many times, and without your support, V2V would literally be nothing.
No.
It'd just be us sitting here talking to ourselves.
Exactly. And we had some familiar faces. We had some very new faces.
We did.
Yeah. And I just want to give a shout out because there was one thing that happened that night which warmed my heart.
There was more than one thing.
Well, there was more than one thing, but I'm not sure I can talk about that. But we had a couple of couples that attended where one half of the couple was brand new.
Yes.
And the other half was quite experienced.
Yes, that happened a couple of times.
It did. The first couple that came in, bless her, it was the lady that was not experienced and she looked absolutely terrified when she walked in. So she got the usual Mrs. N big hug. And we had a quick chat and it was, you've got nothing to worry about. You're in safe hands. We'll look after you. Everything's going to be fine. So they went on, they had their tour. They went on for the rest of the evening. I saw them chatting to other people. And then a bit later on, we had another couple that turned up who were new, where the girl was actually quite experienced, but the gentleman wasn't.
Yeah.
And he looked terrified.
He did.
As they came through the door, they got the usual Mrs. N big hug and said, don't look so scared, you're going to be fine. As I was talking to them, the other couple that we spoke to earlier had joined in the conversation. And the lady from the first couple, who was the newbie, was chatting to the gentleman of the second couple, who was a newbie.
They were interconnecting.
They were. And I just thought how amazing it was that they both started chatting, saying, look, we're both in the same boat. Don't be worried. Do this, do this, do this. And this is what I love about V2V events. This is what I absolutely love about it, because we have the most amazing people come to our events.
It must be quite a challenge if you've got a partner where you've been, but they're brand new.
Yeah,
they don't know what to expect. I wonder if you, I suppose, with your partner being there, who you feel has already done the rodeo, so to speak. I suppose that gives you kind of a little bit of a confidence that you can lean on them.
Yeah, possibly. It was interesting, actually, because the first couple, I was chatting to the gentleman who's obviously been in the scene, in the hobby for a while, and he was telling me about their first date that they went on, and they were at a restaurant, and he just happened to be chatting, and he got into the conversation, how you talk about your exes and, all that kind of stuff, and he was talking about his ex, and he said for some reason it just came out. He didn't mean it to come out, but he just happened to announce that they used to be swingers.
Well, just hold that. So you're on a first date. You don't just go, oh yeah, by the way, we used to be swingers.
He said it just kind of fell out in conversation, apparently.
I mean, that could have gone one way or another. That could have been like, check, please.
Well, this is what the gentleman was saying. He said, I was waiting for the look on the face of, oh my God, where's the exit? So I need to get out of here. When she actually turned around and went, oh, okay, tell me more.
It's an opener, isn't it?
It is an opener. And that's when obviously he got into the conversation of it, and he managed to persuade her to come along to our event. And I have to be honest, and I can say this quite...
It was only their second date.
No.
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
I made that up.
But she ended up having a really lovely evening. And I just said to her, well, thank you so much to coming to our event and giving us a go and seeing what it was all about. But the fact that she took time and trouble to speak to another newbie who was very nervous and calm their nerves down as well. Just absolutely amazing, guys.
We had such an eclectic mix, and we had a young guy there who was in his late 20s.
Yes, he was.
And he was brand new to the scene. And again, it's just after Christmas. And we kind of said, didn't we? We said it was the January new me, new everything party.
Yes.
It was for people that just wanted to embrace 2025 and just say, no, stuff it, make the change.
Yes.
And this young guy, bless him, he was late 20s. He was really, really nervous. I stood chatting to him, and his big worry was the social side. So obviously Liberty Elite, the club, is split up into two main sections. You've got a large open play area at the back, and you've got the social area at the front of the club. And he said, no. So that back room, because he went on his tour. He had his tour. He had his tour with the lovely Fanny Ann.
I thought she might enjoy that.
I think she did.
I think she did.
I think he did as well. And he said, that back room, he said, doesn't scare me. When I went in there, he said, I'm fine with all of that. He said, what terrifies me is the social side.
Yeah.
And just being in that social, environment. And for a young guy to literally turn up on his own, and I said, you've already done the biggest part, the bravest part.
Yeah, walking through the door.
Yeah, getting your name on the guest list. And he said once he'd put his name on the guest list, that was it. He'd committed to himself.
Bless him.
Which I thought was lovely.
It was lovely. I mean, obviously, you guys know, with our Vegas Vixens event, we have single guys. We video verify all our single guys to make sure that they are the right people for our event.
And that makes our party quite unique.
It does. And I remember doing the video verification with this chap, and he was so honest, bless him. And he quite, honestly said, I'm really nervous. And the fact that we got a chance to have a chat beforehand. Yeah. And one thing that we always do suggest with newbies is get on our Discord group. Yeah. Because there are people in there that have been where they are. Everybody's new at some point, and they're there to support you.
And once you've chatted online, not obviously, by text, it's all by text in the chat room. Once you've texted, you meet people that will be there.
Yeah.
So you could go, yes, you're the one that likes, I don't know.
Pineapples.
Or something like that.
But yeah, it was so lovely. And I think he said, because he messaged me afterwards to say thank you so much. I had the best evening. Yeah. Everybody was so welcoming, which I had already said to him beforehand. Don't forget, you're not on your own. Yeah. There are other newbies there, but there are also people there that will help you.
And I think also as well, and this is what, because I was asked by a couple, because they said they'd never seen such a wide spectrum of ages and different people at one party. And you said you've got single guys, you've got single girls, you've got couples. And she went, how do you gel it all together? And I said, I think what makes our parties unique is our video verification, which takes an awful long time. Yeah. It takes, a lot of curating, doesn't it? Of putting together of the couples, making sure that we've got couples in all age ranges, so people don't feel left out.
We also are very careful about the balance. So we also make sure the ratios are right.
Yeah. And so, and here's where you can go to events where you get a lot of guys, perhaps all in their 20s, and then things can get a little bit silly.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Or,
Yeah.
you know, you can get the classic sort of everyone striving to be the alpha male. And that, you know.
So who can beat their chest the hardest.
Yeah. And so with that, I think, you know, with what we do with our video verifications, we make sure that we've got that mix of people, and it just makes for a great event.
It does. It works. You know, the formula works.
It does.
And it just goes to show, because the amount of compliments and lovely messages we received afterwards,
Yeah.
you just sit there and you think to yourself, yeah, we got it right that night. Definitely.
We did. And yeah, and I'd say we had a couple of young guys, because we always try and get, you know, a few in the age ranges.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you don't want to be the only single guy who's in your 20s
No.
at the event. And we have to be careful that we don't play Cupid and say, oh, well, we've got one single guy who's late 20s. We must have one single girl, because there's absolute every chance that they won't get on, and the younger guy will probably go for an older woman, or
Yeah, exactly.
he'll probably just want to sit in the hot tub on his own.
I'm partial to a younger guy myself,
We all know that, Mrs. M.
just saying.
We all know that. Talking at the end of Vegas Vixens,
Yeah. Where's that going?
we got rather a ticking off. Do you want to tell people why we got a ticking off?
No.
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 No. Good hosts, or bad hosts. So we like to be by the front door, you know, towards the end of the night, so we can kind of, you know, say to people.
We like to say good night to people, safe
good
journey, hope you've had a lovely time. Yeah.
That didn't happen, did it?
Nope.
People came and kissed you on the head and went, actually, no, they kissed me on the head because I was laying on a bed waiting.
Just waiting.
I was waiting.
Were you?
Sighing, looking. Well, yeah, couldn't look at my watch. I hadn't got it on. I'd been in the hot tub.
You sure you weren't doing something else lying on the bed?
Can't remember. Killing time.
Is that what they call it? Yeah.
Well, yes. Anyway, Mrs. N was rather preoccupied with one half of a very popular couple.
Yes. Yes.
You blushing, Mrs. N?
I don't really know what you want me to say.
No.
It was one of those things, you know, where you get given an opportunity, and we had an opportunity for 10 minutes and we went, let's take the opportunity.
See where this goes.
Yeah. Yeah, and we got told off by Roxy.
Yeah, Roxy was coming in.
She wanted to go home.
She wanted to go to bed. She wanted to go to bed in a different sense.
So I am
to sleep.
We are sorry, Roxy.
Yes.
We do apologise. Anyway.
So that was Vegas.
Can we move on?
And then the following week,
Yes.
we headed out to a brand new venue.
Yes, we got invited by our good friends, didn't we? Town and Country.
Town and Country Sir John and the fabulous Lady
Law, yes.
who are a beautiful couple. They're
They
probably listening right now. And they said, look, Mr. and Mrs. M, with the best will in the world, we need to break you out of your mould. You need to experience new things.
Which, in fairness, we did say this is what we wanted to do this year, didn't we?
And that's what we're doing. We're touring. We're going to other clubs.
We're putting our money where our mouths are.
Yeah, we're grabbing the bull by the horns. We're spending as many petrol vouchers as we can. And we're touring.
We are.
We're going around places, and hopefully we will be hosting some parties at other venues very, very soon. Which leads us on to the big news this week.
Da-da-da.
And I can't believe we're already kind of like 17 minutes into the podcast and I've not mentioned
You've not mentioned it.
We've got a brand new website.
We have, which I have to put a shout out to Mr. N, because he's worked so hard on this.
I know.
Hours and hours. I haven't seen him.
I haven't slept.
I've been going to bed by myself.
Yes. I'm tapping away.
You tapping away.
So we've got a brand new website called v2v.uk.
Yes.
There's no co in there because it's just a big community. Mm-hmm. So it's v2v.uk, and it's V number 2 V. So it's just 5 little digits, v2v.uk. v2v.uk. Remember those 5 digits? One for each finger on your hand.
What if you've got one missing?
Oh, it won't work. Well, if you include the dot as a digit, that's it. Anyway, we'll get carried away. Just making this overcomplicated. It's v2v.uk, and it's our site that has everything based on it.
It's a one-stop shop, isn't it?
And it's got all our upcoming events for the whole year, 2025. So you can see all our events for 2025 in the order, photos, posters, themes.
Yes.
So if you want to get dressed up and you want to know what we've got a chocolate and chill party.
We have, because it's National Chocolate Day.
We've got
what's the cosmic one?
Cosmic Connections.
Cosmic Connections, yes.
A space themed party.
Yes.
It's proper mental.
It is mental.
So we've got all the themes to our parties on v2v.uk. Lots of pictures on there. We've got the venues where we will be holding them. And I said venues because obviously this year we're going to have more than one venue.
We are.
We're spreading our wings. So we've got full pages on the venues that we're going to be holding the events at.
Yeah.
We've got links to our Discord chat channel on there. We've got links to our store. We've got the book. We've got everything all on one site.
It is.
v2v.uk.
It is fabulous. So you need to check it out.
Absolutely. And we've also got latest news on there. So it's a little bit like a blog that we'll print out all the latest news as and when it happens.
Yes.
For instance, there's a photo of the gorgeous Inca Winter.
She was amazing. If you listen to last week's podcast.
Porn producer. She's on there. So that's the website. Please check out the website because it is really cool. And it's got all our upcoming events, which is the most important thing, because we've got new venues. And we visited to see what it was like, just to have a little taste ourselves. We visited the Annex.
We did.
The Annex in Kings Lynn.
Kings Lynn, which is why we were very close to the seaside.
We were. Within touching distance.
Yes. And the lovely Lady La and Sir John were our company for the evening.
Yeah.
They held our hand.
I think they were holding more than that.
They probably did. But yes, and they'd very kindly spoken to the owner of the
Beautiful
Annex.
VJ.
Beautiful VJ.
Who we got to meet and have a chat with.
We did.
Yeah. And we went on a tour around the club.
Yeah.
And it was a hosted event. And it was absolutely wonderful.
We just loved it. We weren't sure what to expect. We'd seen pictures of the outside.
Yeah.
People had told us it's kind of like almost on an industrial estate.
Yeah. It was very, very industrial.
It was very industrial. And you do think to yourself, oh, okay, what am I walking into? But honestly, it was like the TARDIS.
And when we say wonder what you're walking into, let's paint the picture for you.
Okay, go on then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was absolutely pitch black. It was the night when we got all the snow. But it wasn't snowing at the time.
No.
So
it was a little damp, though.
It was a little bit damp, but it was the weather was good when we went in, but it was very dark, and we were in the middle of nowhere, so there were no lights whatsoever. And so what we did was we said, "Oh, okay," and there were a few potholes in. Well, I'm going to use the word road loosely.
I'd use the term pothole loosely. They were more like craters.
Yes. It was a track.
It was.
It was a track. There'd been a few donkeys up there earlier.
You had to
on.
do a little bit of chicaning, really, didn't you?
Yeah. And so we kind of like arrived. It was all very, very, very rural, which we kind of liked.
We
kind of enjoyed that. And we arrived at this club, and then we went inside, and we were like, "Whoa!
Yeah,
this is totally cool." It's a non-licensed club, so you bring your own alcohol if you want to.
They do sell soft drinks.
Soft drinks, so we were all right.
Yeah.
We were high on life.
And they had treats on the bar.
I know.
They had a tub of chocolates.
Tub of chocolates.
Which was nice.
Yeah, Quality Street, was it? Or
Roses, I think.
And Roses.
Yeah.
So we got treats. We got met by beautiful hosts.
We did. We also got met by the most wonderful lady called Michelle.
We did.
Who we're hoping to get on the podcast because she has some fabulous stories to tell.
That will be an absolute belter.
Yeah.
Michelle was a very interesting woman.
She was.
And so once you go past reception, where Michelle was, you walk into the main room, and it's a big, long room. You've got a bar on the left-hand side. You've got, and here's what, I've never seen this before. You've got 2 playrooms opposite the bar.
Yeah.
Dead opposite.
Yeah.
And they've got a gated.
So it's like a stable door.
A stable door, that's the word I'm looking for. So you've got a stable door.
But it's just the bottom half.
Yes. And what was on the top half?
So it had like a voile curtain.
Voile.
Yes,
that's the word.
That's the word, voile.
A voile curtain. And those 2 rooms were just decorated beautifully.
So one of the rooms had like a Moroccan theme to it. It was beautifully decorated, lighting, very mood lighting, just had quite a luxurious feel about it, the way it had been.
Big leather chairs and...
exactly. And just...
It had a bed, didn't it? A big bed.
A big bed in there. There was like a 2-seater sofa in there and a chair.
No plastic.
No plastic whatsoever. The lighting, there was lamps and mood lighting.
The ceiling was like decorated with this big, long, flowing...
It was all material. It was like satin material, wasn't it?
So you're not just in a square room. It's all like proper decorated beautifully. We didn't get to see much of the first room.
No, we didn't.
We spent a lot of time in the second room. Come to that in a bit. Then you kind of go further up the big, long, where the bar is.
Yeah.
If you come out of the playroom. And you've got like a big, they call it kind of where the DJs normally are.
That's
a big dance room.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
Sofa there as well, because there were people sitting just socialising, weren't they?
Yeah. And VJ is from more of a kink background.
Yes, she is.
She's dominatrix. And so what I noticed straight away were some fabulous photos.
The photos are brilliant that are on the walls.
Yeah. And they were like really, I think there were some personal photos in some exotic poses and things. Which
like
made
black and white, so they're really artistic.
It just made it so personal.
It did.
It wasn't just decorated.
No,
it was a lot of personal touch into this club, which makes it unique. But also, you felt I felt like I knew a little bit of VJ.
Yeah,
it
had that. That's the one thing that hit me more than anything was. I felt so comfortable there. I felt very relaxed. It felt quite intimate.
Yeah.
Which I liked.
I would say call it kind of... It's not a small club.
It's not a small club.
Not a large club. Somewhere in between. So yeah. And it's recently been extended.
Yes.
And of course we're missing off. So at the top of the room you've got the sort of... DJ room when they have a DJ.
Yeah.
There wasn't one on that particular night, but there's some great music being played, which I was really into. Then if you shoot back down to the bottom end where the bar is, on the opposite end of the room, you've got a hot tub room.
You do.
Which you've got a really nice hot tub.
Yes.
And you go into another room which has kind of got spaces to change.
It had lockers, didn't it? Like pigeonholes.
Had pigeonholes. You could take your own towels, or you can buy a towel from the club.
And then if you do happen to take it home with you, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, then you just keep the towel.
Keep the towel.
Keep the towel. So you can buy a towel from the club or take your own. No need for any bikinis or anything like that. But you can take it if you want to.
Yeah.
It's just really relaxed in there. There's no pressure on anyone. It was really, really nice.
It was.
And then, so we go, because I missed that bit off, then we have to go right back to the other end of the room. You had one of your favourite rooms, didn't you, Mrs. N?
Yes, I loved this room. I liked the layout of it. I liked what they'd done.
The pirate room.
The pirate room.
This is the first time I've ever heard of a pirate room in a swingers club.
It is. And it's probably not what you're thinking, but it did have a pirate theme to it.
I'm thinking, was it full of wooden legs?
No, it wasn't. Nor parrots either. But the way the room was actually set out is you had a double bed, one side.
Yeah.
In one direction.
I've never seen anything like this ever at a club.
And then there was a skull and crossbones, almost like a flag.
There was loads of stuff. So the whole room's decorated blue. It's got sea and waves and I think, pirate ship, and there's all sorts of things, barnacles, and Captain Birdseye was having a wank in the corner. He wasn't really.
Did he have fishy fingers?
Put me right off now. No, set the scene, Mrs. Ed.
Sorry. No, so you had one bed, and then covering the bed across it was almost like a divider, but you could see through it.
I don't want to use this term because it's off-putting. But the best way of describing it is they were like divider curtains almost in a hospital.
Yeah.
But it didn't look like that at all.
No, not at all. That's what I said. It was like it had a skull and crossbones on it.
It was like a divider curtain.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a solid divider, if you know what I mean.
It was like a curtain.
You could see.
Yeah, it was like just almost a see-through curtain. So it looked very sexy.
It did, because on the other side, in a different direction, was the second bed. So you could have many people playing on both of the beds, but you had it felt naughty because you had this divider there.
But so you could see a bit of a silhouette.
Yeah.
That's hot.
It was just a brilliant room.
And this is the level of thought and experience that's gone into this place.
Yeah.
That, VJ has really, really thought about, what goes on there and, titillation.
Yeah.
The titillation. The fact that there's playrooms opposite the bar, and I thought to myself initially, I don't think I'm going to enjoy that.
You see, I thought the same thing. Because
it's such a busy social area, and, you've just got a thin voile curtain dividing you. All I can describe it, because we ended up having a little bit of naughtiness in there with Sir John and Lady Lar, and all I can describe it as one of the hottest experiences.
It was incredible, wasn't it?
Because...
Well, you have the choice, don't you, where you can have the voile curtain open. So if you like people to watch you, if you are an exhibitionist, then people can just watch you without coming in the room.
Yeah.
Or, like we did, we actually pulled the voile curtain across, but you still feel connected to those people that are in the bar area.
And the bed is kind of hidden, so if you're standing in the bar, you're not... sort of the act of sex isn't going on in your face.
No.
You can't see it. The room's very dark. So you would have to peer into the room to actually see the action going on.
Yeah.
But we just had the voile, and so it was like being in the middle of a bar and having sex in this like side room. It was
but it made it made it really exciting.
I've never had an experience like that. And it was just the coolest experience.
It was. I was like you, Mr. Renner. I thought, I'm not sure I'm going to be comfortable. I'm not sure I'll be able to relax. That was probably the most relaxed I've been.
Yeah.
Because it just, in a way, I kind of forgot, even though I could hear people and you could see people walking past, and occasionally some people would sort of stand and have a bit of a look, but that just made it more sexy.
Yeah, and because people have to get like really close to the voile to see through, so, and because you're in a dark room and they're in the lighter bar, they have to get really close to kind of just see what's going on. So you can see them looking in, but they can't see you quite as clearly.
No.
So it makes it really fucking hot.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just loved, the more time I spent at the club, the more I fell in love with it and how comfortable I felt in it. And even the people that were there.
Well, I was about to say, I mean, what the most important thing to a club isn't really the decor.
No.
You've got to have that non-judgmental, relaxed atmosphere, and that's what the club had in abundance.
Oh, absolutely.
That the people there were absolutely lovely.
Yeah. And everybody was really welcoming. Everybody was smiling. You say hello. Yeah. And it was weird for us because obviously we weren't hosting. We were guests.
But
we
did have a few people there, obviously, that recognised us, and we go, "Oh, it's Mr. and Mrs. Ed." And so we were like, "Oh," it was really strange because, like you said, we weren't hosting, and we felt a little bit like newbies all over again.
Yeah, we did.
Didn't we?
Because it was a completely new club to us. We'd never been before.
Yeah, we didn't know where anything was.
No.
And so that was kind of like downstairs. Then you had another big room, which was a little bit BDSM dungeonified.
Yeah.
And I really liked that room. It had a cage, which was kind of the size of a large coffee table. So you could put...
I think I threatened to put you in it, didn't I?
Yeah, somebody who's been extremely naughty could go in there and they could watch the action, because there's chaise lounges and settees and things that you have naughties on.
Yeah, I think they had the St Andrew's Cross.
Yes, there was St Andrew's Cross in there.
Beautiful, wasn't it? They had spanking benches.
All sorts. And it was a very large area.
Yeah.
So you could put somebody in the cage and then be right across the room where they couldn't touch or...
Yeah.
It was just magnificent. And the decor, it got, like big rugs and fancy things, and it was just so well decorated.
Yeah, it was. And I know what you said, but it's not really that important. But actually, I think it is, because if you are in a room, it was almost like, and this is probably going to sound a bit strange, but the feeling I got when we played in the Moroccan room was almost, it felt very homely.
Yeah, it put you at ease.
At ease straight away.
I didn't say it's not. I just said probably the most important thing is the people. The people come first, and then the decor.
Yeah.
What I loved about the dungeon-y room, it wasn't even like a dungeon really. It was more like it reminded me of a really traditional, old-fashioned, naughty BDSM room. And they got the most wonderful kind of wrought iron sort of like umbrella stand.
Yes.
With whips and canes.
Yeah, they did,
and things in there that you could just imagine, the old-fashioned dominatrix coming out and punishing someone who's been particularly petulant. and that was just fantastic. And then it was one of my favourite rooms.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Mr. N?
And so then we were led upstairs, which was sexy in itself. We were led upstairs and we went into the cinema.
We did.
Yep, it's got its own cinema.
It has.
With really, really plush seats.
Yes.
And there was a couple, and the guy was just casually being wanked off in the corner.
He was. Well, yeah, he was, yeah.
And she was sucking him.
No, she was sucking him. That was the bit I saw.
I was busy watching the film.
Yeah.
Very good. And it was a really plush, very modern designed cinema, all beautiful white walls, with a proper cinema screen, and it was the film looks hot, and it got sound on.
Yeah,
we've been into cinemas where you can't hear the sound,
which I just found weird.
Yeah, and this one had full sound. You could hear everything, see everything, and it certainly got one couple in the mood. Mm-hmm. And there we are, like going, hello. Sorry to interrupt. Would you like an ice cream?
Yeah, I think she was already...
She was otherwise engaged.
Yeah, she was, bless her. So, yeah, we do need a return trip.
We definitely need a return trip.
So we can try out the cinema room.
Yeah, I didn't get enough time in the cinema room. No. That was disappointing. But there was just enough light in there as well. It wasn't the kind of pitch black cinema. So there was enough light in there that you could see to have fun and see who you're playing with. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah, we did. We really, really enjoyed it. We loved meeting VJ. We spent quite a bit of time chatting to her, which was lovely. And again, we're trying to persuade her to come on the podcast.
Absolutely.
And sort of let you guys know more about her and about the Annex and
absolutely
everything else. So
you never know. You never know what might happen. Might be a V2V event there. You never know.
No, absolutely. Who knows?
And as we're talking about V2V events, now would be a very good time to talk about Saturday, February the 8th.
What's happening on Saturday, February the 8th, Mr. N?
It is, well, I nearly said national then. It's not. It's bigger than that. It's Worldwide Propose Day.
Propose what?
Well, this is it. So in India, right, in India mostly, it's actually a celebrated holiday. It's National Propose Day in India.
Right.
Which is the start of Valentine's Week.
Yeah.
Okay. Second day in Valentine's Week on the 8th of February. And it's Propose Day where you can propose whatever you want to your significant other. So we thought we'd take this monumental event, Propose Day, and have the vanilla to Vixen indecent proposal.
Yeah, because obviously, we have to do an alternative.
Of course. So it's February the 8th, vanilla to Vixen, indecent proposal party.
It is. So it's on the Saturday. So it's for couples and single ladies only, I'm afraid.
Yeah, we've already got a few on the guest list.
Yes, the guest list, it has been open for about a week.
It's seriously hot. So I've literally only just put the guest list, publicised the guest list on Fab Swingers. And we've got quite a few on there, but it's quality.
Yeah.
It's absolute quality. We've got some scorchers on there. At the top of the guest list, of course, Saucy and Busty.
Of course.
I can't imagine Mr. Saucy will make anything indecent.
Isn't that his middle name?
I'm still remembering him dressed as the Cardinal Saucy. We've got the beautiful Bellas coming.
Yes.
Mr. and Mrs. Bella. And they I'm sure they will be incredibly naughty.
I mean, if you're lucky, you may possibly have a tour.
Absolutely.
By the beautiful Bellas.
Absolutely.
If you've not been to the club before.
So I'm just so excited. We've got 4 brand new couples already down.
Awesome.
Never been to a club in their lives.
Bless them.
Literally shitting themselves. Probably listening to this, me making it worse. But no, honestly, so if you're a brand new couple, there's going to be other couples in the same boat.
Yeah.
And obviously the indecent proposal thing is a light-hearted bit of fun.
Yes.
But what's going to happen is all our couples will get 5 cards with selected naughty, indecent proposals on them. And you will be free to use those cards as you so wish. So let's say, for instance, what could there be on an indecent proposal? One card might say, "I propose you follow me into the hot tub."
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes, something like that.
And you can give these cards as you so wish. You can just keep them if you want to. Keep them as a crap memento. Or it might be more fun to give them out suggestively to couples that you like the look of. At the bar, or just go up to them, "I propose this to you."
Yes. We like to do something. People that have been to our events before will know that we like to play icebreaker games a little bit, just to help people start conversations off and so it's not awkward and stuff. So, and we always try and think especially when we're doing a theme, we always try and think along the lines of that theme and then put things in place. So hence why we're going to do little bits of indecent proposals.
And of course, you'll only have one card with the proposal on it.
Yeah.
Okay. And there'll be a collection of them, all sorts. So obviously you might want to see other cards. So you could treat it like Panini stickers.
Well, I'll trade your hot tub for...
I'll trade you a proposal in the hot tub for your proposal in the swing room. This could be a lot of fun.
Good grief.
And I want a full sticker book by the end of the night. So that is what the indecent proposal party is all about.
Yes,
that's going to be a lot of fun.
It is going to be good fun. It is.
Yeah. So that's Saturday, February the 8th. Make 2025 a brand new year for you. If you've never been to one of our events, you do not have to strip off. You do not have to do anything you don't want to do. If you've been listening to this, if you're one of our, what we call our ghost listeners that just sits quietly in the back and goes, "Oh, I'd love to do that," now is your opportunity.
Yeah.
We have got loads of beautiful people and we're just missing you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just send us a message via email or send us a message on Fab Swingers. You can do this in 2 ways. You can send us an email to naughtycouple, naughtcp1 @yahoo.com, or you can contact us on Fab Swingers. We are Naughty Couple, spelled naughtcp1 on Fab Swingers. Or you can just go onto our brand new website, v2v.uk, and you can send us a message via that.
Awesome. No excuses now.
Exactly. v2v.uk. Just go on there.
Let's do it. Just do it.
Send us a message and just say, you're a couple, single lady. All you need, form of identification to get into the club. Dress smart. There is a dress code. There's no ripped jeans. There's no
trainers,
no t-shirts. Dress to impress.
Absolutely. You're on a night out. Make yourself feel good.
It starts with getting dressed up, doesn't it,
It
Mrs.
does.
N? It does.
Definitely. And then finishes with you getting undressed.
Don't spoil it.
Oh, dear. Right. There's been a couple of news articles that I thought I would like to share.
We usually do the news at the start, but
I know.
Why not finish off with it?
We're mixing it up in 2025.
I told you, expect the unexpected. You don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
What are these news articles then, Mrs. N?
So the first one is, it was from the Daily Mail.
Well, that's bullshit to begin with.
Exactly. And apparently it's the self-proclaimed sexual explorer reveals how you can boost your love life in the bedroom following her sacred sexuality tips.
Who is she? Is she named?
Her name is, and I apologise for the pronunciation, Hitomi Mokizuki.
Okay.
I believe is how it's yeah.
Nice name.
Yeah, exactly. And she's shared her advice on achieving sexual pleasure, saying her sacred sexuality tips can help have better sex.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm listening.
I thought I would read some of them out.
Okay.
So she and her friends often talk about their sex lives and share tips and their own experiences.
We did that. We started a podcast.
We did.
We just tell you all about our sex lives there.
Yes. We constantly share our tips and things that turn us off or on, she explained. It's a really wonderful conversation to have because we learn so much about different bodies, about different kinks, and in general get a wider scope of how sex can happen.
I like her. We need her on the podcast.
Yeah, she just sounds really interesting. The Sex Positive Beauty said it was eye-opening to normalise conversations about sex through talking about it more regularly with her friends. It will help to give you language to then go into sexual relationships and feel more comfortable speaking about it with them, she said.
Good communication.
Good communication.
That's what we boast, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just going to run through some of her sacred tips, as she so calls. So Hitomi also says she goes on quite a few travels, so she likes to document her travels. And she says being comfortable with self-intimacy is also important for showing off her favourite sex toy. So she thinks that masturbating a lot is going to make you feel more available for sex and more comfortable with yourself, she said. So she listed her tips, which include vocalising out loud, even if it feels cringy.
A loud comer.
Yeah, so she
That's you, Mrs. N.
Shush. So she says, I talk to myself through what I am doing and what I am liking. So sometimes I'll do this in front of the mirror, and it really, really helps me to do this in the bedroom because I'm so used to talking about my pleasure out loud.
This reminds me of the scene at Vegas Vixen's when you were on the bed in the last 15 minutes with a certain naughty man and popping their heads over
the hot tub
wall.
Yeah,
because at Liberty Elite there's like a glass wall that divides, and they pop their heads over. Saucy, Busty, a few others.
Yes,
when everyone at 2 a.m. should have been going and getting changed. Game over, end of night. Host should be at the front door saying goodbye to everybody. Mrs. N getting a jolly good seeing to. And it looked like that cartoon, what was it? Chad. Just these little heads peering over going, ooh,
don't you put all the blame on me? What were you doing?
I can't remember.
Yes, you can.
I'd actually spent a lovely bit of time with a beautiful couple. beautiful couple.
Yeah.
And then I came over and saw you getting whatever. And so I think I finished off with a wank.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for that. We got there eventually, didn't we? Anyway, going back to this.
Yes, back to the news.
Yes. So she also says that she likes to talk about underwear. So she's a bit like me. So she likes cotton underwear.
Okay.
She likes the feel of it. She likes how comfortable it is. She likes to have matching because it makes her feel sexy, or maybe lace or some thigh highs. I'm assuming she means the boots.
Kinky boots.
Yeah. It's this sort of thing that makes her feel sexy, she said. So it's all about And we've talked about this on the podcast before, haven't we? That if you have underwear that makes you feel good about yourself, that has then an impact.
Incredibly.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, incredibly.
Yeah. So one tip she had for everyone is to be enthusiastic, declaring that enthusiasm beats technique.
Why not?
So she says
that means I'm top of the queue. I'm a very enthusiastic person.
She says, like, if you're just genuinely so excited to share your body and pleasure with someone, then it's going to make the lovemaking session really good, she said.
I totally agree with that. We have been in situations, I'm not naming anyone, but we've been in situations where I felt the other person was not interested.
Yeah.
And that is the shittest feeling.
Yeah, it doesn't
ever.
make you feel very good about yourself. And I think you do need to have almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Not confirmation, but acknowledgement that...
Yeah, acknowledgement. You need to know that the other person's interested.
Exactly. Yeah, you do. She also says about dirty talk. Now, this is down your street, isn't it, Mr. N?
I'm not a filthy talker.
No, you like people to talk dirty to you, don't you?
It's all about getting into the headspace. And obviously fantasising dirty talk is your first step.
So the next tip is devouring.
Oh.
So you devour the other person in ways like sucking their fingers or intense eye contact.
Is that a turn on for you?
What, having my fingers sucked?
Being devoured in that way?
Eye contact, definitely.
Fingers sucking?
Not so sure about that one.
Yeah.
But obviously everybody has their own things, but she's just giving tips of the sort of things that it's things that turn her on. She says it makes like foreplay really kind of immense.
You love your nipples sucked.
I do love my nipples sucked. And she also goes on things like your neck or your inner thigh. Now that's a definite yes for me, because you've got the sensitive area around your neck and the inside of your thighs.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So stuff like that, or nibbling your ear.
Yeah.
Or she says collarbones, which is a weird one.
Yeah, collarbone. Kissing on your collarbone, even for a guy, to kiss a guy's collarbone, that's really hot.
Also kissing around the belly button area, which I know you don't really like.
I don't say I'm indifferent.
I can't say it's something we ever really do that much of, to be honest, but...
I neither am or am not of the belly button.
She talks about like visualisation as well, and trying to visualise what their sexual intention is. So it's almost like, I'm going to tease you a little bit. So this is what what could be coming up, so to speak. Yeah. So that kind of gets you excited.
I'm into that. Headspace again.
Yeah.
Very good tips. We need her on the podcast.
We do. She also goes on to say, when she started setting intentions, like we were just talking about, she said the orgasm just brings her bliss and abundance of joy in her body. And it makes her feel safe, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, very good. So it goes on. I mean, if you want to read more, because there's a lot more to this article.
And what's her name?
It's Hitomi Mokizuki.
Excellent. That'll do.
Yeah, it's an interesting
people
article.
Will find her.
Interesting article. If you're after some tips.
I think we have time for one more news article, Mrs. N.
We do. So this article is called "The UK's Top Sexual Fantasies as a Dark New Fetish Emerges."
Oh, this sounds interesting. A new dark what? A dark fetish.
Dark fetish.
Okay.
Okay. So obviously, again, another Daily Mail one. So.
Oh, more bullshit.
More bullshit. So the UK's most outrageous and sordid sexual fetishes have been revealed as some unusual new tastes appear to be on the rise. So research has commissioned by a leading sex and relationship expert called Rachel Thompson. She suggests that more daring fantasies such as dogging and cottaging are seeing a decline among the sexual active population.
As people involved in the naughty hobby, and obviously we get to see things on swinging websites and things, I would agree with that.
Would you?
When you think about it, dogging is when you think back sort of, let's say 10 years ago, when you had sites like Swinging Haven, I remember on that website there was areas where apart from being illegal, dogging is actually illegal, in sex in public places and all that, but there were places on that site, within that website, that actually mentioned dogging areas, and now that wouldn't be dreamed of. Things have moved on, things have evolved. We've got clubs, we've got establishments, we've got venues.
Yeah.
And so I totally agree with that cottaging and
I'd never heard of
dogging.
cottaging.
Right, I think that's more prevalent in the gay community, isn't it?
Right, okay. Well,
Cottaging.
I don't know.
I think George Michael and all that. And
Okay.
Toilets and
things.
Gentlemen's and toilets. Yes, I think that's more prevalent with the LGBT community, or was back in the 90s.
Right, okay.
90s, noughties, and I think it's kind of obviously.
So I suppose, like everything else, it evolves, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
And,
you get things that are in fashion and you get things that go out of fashion.
yeah, and I think it's evolved for the better, because when you look at sort of, it's a far safer environment to go to a club, whether it be an LGBT night, and you can still indulge in that kind of activity in, say, for instance, the peepholes, and certain clubs have the glory holes, and it's a far safer environment for everyone involved.
Oh, okay. Well, interestingly then, so there was analysis done on 160 million Google searches over the last 5 years, revealing the growth and decline of more than 100 key kinky words during that time period.
Oh.
So starting off with dogging, which for people that don't know is engaging or watching sexual activities in public places, usually involving strangers.
We tried that.
We did. It
Limited
was awful.
result it didn't go very well.
So over the last 5 years, it's declined by 34%.
It's a very particular number.
Well, this is their study. Don't hold me to these are correct.
So it's dropped. Yeah, okay, I go along with that.
So I think what they're saying is people that are going on the internet and doing searches for these different kinks.
Yeah, there's a 34%
drop in people actually Googling what dogging is.
Yeah.
So another one is sploshing. Now that surprised me, because not that we've ever tried it, but
we thought it was quite a sort of, not I suppose a popular activity, but it's been mentioned quite a bit in clubs and things.
It has.
And
obviously this is playing with messy food substances.
That's right, sitting on cakes and, and sorts of naughtiness,
throwing trifle at each other and stuff. Oh, I do love a trifle.
Yeah, I like a trifle. I've got to be honest, I probably prefer it on a plate. But I'm not massively into sploshing.
No.
I just think somebody's got to clear all this up.
Well, this
now.
is the thing. It would have to be, for me, it would have to be somewhere where somebody else is cleaning it up, because it would just freak me out otherwise.
My mind has suddenly gone into the Alan Partridge comedy sketch where he arrived at his hotel door with his face smothered in Mars bar. And his girlfriend Jill had got up to naughtiness with him at that particular time, and he didn't know what was happening. She'd just done it, and she said, "Oh well, I thought it'd be sexy." And he said, "Chocolate's nice, but to smother it on each other is just demented."
Well, so the searches for sploshing has declined by 54%.
Okay, no one's into sploshing.
Yeah, but they say the most dramatic decline was the searches for cottaging, which is engaging in sexual activities in public restrooms or secluded outdoor areas.
Which, again, is illegal, and we do not condone that kind of thing.
Absolutely. So that's dropped by 70%.
And I think that's a good thing, 'cause like I say, that there is more safer environments where people can explore their sexuality and explore their kinks and fetishes and things, and you could be 100% safe. So I think that's good.
Absolutely. So some of the other ones that they were talking about were, I've never heard of this, so Zental.
No.
Or Zental, is
No idea.
Zental, is a practice where full body, skin tight suits made from spandex or nylon are used in fetish or costume play.
Okay.
But that fell by 53%.
Never heard of it.
No, absolutely.
I missed the whole fashion of that.
Yeah. Searches for bondage, spanking and foreplay also fell by a third.
Okay.
So,
go on then, give us some of the ups. Give us the rising ones.
Okay, so amongst the 5 highest trending words are findom. So that means financial domination, where one gains gratification by controlling another's finances.
I know a bit of you become a pay pig.
A pay pig?
Pay pig.
Oh, sorry, a pay pig.
Pay pig. That is literally a term.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. So it's where guys get off on literally spending money on women.
Oh, okay.
You're literally going to say, send them to me now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, apparently the searches for this have increased by a whopping 83%.
There you go, girls. Look for a pay pig.
Do you think that's more to do with the fact that OnlyFans is a very...
It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, obviously, we talked briefly with this on the last show with Inca Winter. Brilliant woman. And we said sort of the rise of we just mentioned the rise of OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And yeah, I suppose it could become a kink if you suddenly associate paying and giving out and you associate that with pleasure.
Yeah.
Your brain can then form a connection that you every time you pay you're receiving a form of sexual pleasure.
Yeah.
So it could be that guys become then used to it.
Yeah.
Well, certain guys, obviously not all guys are going to use OnlyFans and that kind of thing, but there could be a small percentage of guys that kind of use that and then use that regularly and get off on it.
Yeah.
And then end up in a fetish of like being a pay pig.
Okay.
It's a horrible term, pay pig.
It is a horrible term.
But yeah, it is a term.
Wow. So another one that's been on the increase is called thirst trap. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
It's where someone posts content on social media with the intention of being desired. So that apparently is increased by 335%.
So in other words, wanting to be accepted, wanting to be liked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's rise of social media, isn't it? That we could become obsessed with likes and, you know, people post things.
That's not necessarily good.
No, I don't. I think social media can be a downhill battle with yourself because it's not real, and you have to remember that. Even if the people on there are real, the portrayal of their lives and sometimes not real. Everything can look more glamorous. Everything can look airbrushed. Everything can look filtered.
Yeah.
And so then we can end up in a battle where we're constantly comparing ourselves to what we see on social media. And that's just going to be a battle that you will lose. And that's why we suggest, you know, sometimes come to an event, spend time back with real people.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than just social media.
So one of the most surprising fetishes to make the list was something called Vore.
Vore? How do you spell that?
It's Vore, and it was known more formally as vorophilia.
I've never heard of vorophilia.
So this is a desire to be consumed by another person or a creator. So basically,
holy shit, that's hardcore.
Yeah, so basically being swallowed whole.
What?
Swallowed whole.
I was going to say, like cannibalism.
Well, if you can eat all in one go.
Oh, that's fucking mental. It's like a python.
Yeah, pretty much. Or I suppose if you think about, a dinosaur could just literally grab your whole and...
So that is pure fantasy, obviously.
Pure fantasy, absolutely.
No one could swallow anyone
Apparently
whole.
It has a real...
I've seen you have a good go at trying to swallow people whole.
Stop it!
Starting with the willy area.
Stop it!
You have a damn good go at it.
That's it. That's me done now because they're going to think I'm some weirdo. Honestly, but apparently it's supposed to be very erotic. If that's your thing.
We don't kink shame. Who is to reason why? I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's just a few that's on the list. So, but it just goes to show how the terms that we know, like the dogging and squashing and cottaging and stuff like that, is moving on as people's fetishes are becoming a little bit more
expandable.
That's the word.
Expandable.
Exactly.
Interesting.
So yeah, if you are interested in Vore, please let us know.
Yeah, I'd go steady with the Vore. Keep the trifle on the plates and don't swallow people whole. Just like Mrs. N, just start with the willies and booby areas. The booby areas. Thank you so much for listening to another complete episode of Vanilla to Vixen.
Yes.
And please remember, try our brand new website, v2v.uk.
Yep. Don't forget, it's got everything on there now. So links to our Discord group, links to the shop.
What we're going to be getting up to this week.
Yes.
And we are meeting someone this week.
We are.
With an intention to try and get them on the on our events as like kind of not a crew member as such, but it will be an activity that we're going to try and get into our events. We'll talk about that at another time.
You tease.
I know. Lots of news on the podcast and things, and all the latest news will be on v2v.uk.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's about it for another week.
It is. I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend.
Absolutely. We're off to another club in a couple of weeks.
We are.
And as I say, we are hoping to bring you news very shortly of our first event kind of on tour, where we want you to come along with us.
Yes.
And experience all these places with us.
Yeah.
And don't forget, if you are the owner of a club or a venue that you think, that'd be a good idea, having a Vanilla to Vixen event. We want those two nutters that talk about swallowing whole and such. If you're mad enough to want us to come to your venue and bring our madness with us,
yes,
then please get in touch. You know how you can get in touch with us: by email. We are naughty couple, NAUGHTYCP1, or you can get us via the website v2v.uk.
Fabulous.
We'll see you all next week.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.